Hi everybody, welcome to your Monday edition of the MCN. Shows are Monday, Wednesday and Friday, going over stories and information from the community or things that I think that you might like or might be interested in. Over the last 72 hours, I've put you up to date with everything to do with this new update, so that's all been covered. Go back to the previous content and kind of keep yourself updated with what's going on. Hopefully that kind of like puts you, just in the picture of what we've got going on. And there's a ton of stuff that's happening this month. So keep locked to the channel. We'll be doing guides, information, all that stuff, so you know exactly what's going on in Marvel Contest of Champions in the month of October. Whether it's going to be the Deadpool Ultimate Multiplayer Bonanza, Gladiatorial Games Bounties event, because the bounties will need to be explained. We need to go over them. Anniversary Battlegrounds. But I do have some content associated with that, kind of talk about some things of how to help out in the Realm event, new champion buffs, you name it. We're going to be covering it on the channel. Very busy time, really exciting time. I want to get excited about the game, even though Kabam have got a lot of things to fix and improve. I really hope they get it sorted and improved, especially with quality of AI. Yay, reparry might be dealt with, but there's also other things as well. You've just got to hope that Kabam get things sorted. Please. Especially building up to the kind of the big events like Banquet event and Cyber Weekend. Those are going to be some really huge times for the game. Make sure as well you're doing those objectives and tickets on a daily basis. Now we're going to move on to a very important story, and that is the Crystal Cleanse, the ultimate sacrifice by Brian Grant, if he so chooses. And by the way, link in the description if you want to check out the video that he did associated with this, because it's a bit of a scary thing. I think it's a bit of a scary thing because Kabam they're not forcing, but in a certain way they're putting a lot of pressure on someone, which I think is a bit unfair, in that he has to make a decision for the community. And when you have that kind of level of power, and it's not power, but it's the level of pressure to go, do I want to do something that would benefit people, or continue my story and the thing that not makes me me, but the thing that is important to me? Because as we said, like in the video that I did on Saturday morning, if you saw that one, there are things for certain people that mean something, and some people don't get that. When something means something to somebody, like if you like something, that's your thing, you like it. You might be into comic books, you might be into collecting something like rocks or fossils or something like that, and that's your thing. But if you had to sacrifice those things that you loved or appreciated, and yes, we're talking about a thing in a game, it's still... I like it when people are passionate about things. And if you're passionate about something, then that's interesting. I've got things that I'm interested in, whether it's my comic book collection, a Pokemon card collection, WWE or WWF trading cards that I had from back when I was a kid, and still when I can grab a booster pack from like very old things, but they're very expensive to kind of get a hold of. The things that make you you, or things that you like and interest you, or things that you are known by. As we talked about, my example was the profile picture. So for Brian, it's those eggs. Those eggs have got a lore and story behind them, but it is, as we said, pressure behind him making a decision as to what the community benefits as a result. Quite apt person at Jesus Christ says, Kabam has given Brian Grant a special objective to open his 3 eggs. Doing so will unlock the final milestones of the Crystal Cleanse event. Kabam has said that the eggs will not be automatically opened, which is really good as well, because again, that's him continuing his story. And by the way, if you don't know, crystals will be force opened, depending on the length of time. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's like one rule for one rule for another, where there's other people in the game that have to have their crystals open, but not for Brian. Now, Brian's got special treatment. But they did say specific crystals, so maybe it was... If you have those eggs as well, it might not be, a thing that you'll have opened. It's up to Brian to decide whether he opens the eggs or not. Should Brian Grant open his 3 eggs, and should he keep the 3 eggs? I'm not going to go too much into feeling towards this, because as I said, this is down to like him, and it's kind of like there's a lot of pressure to making this decision, because it is his story, it's his lore. Lore, by the way, not LAW. Should Brian Grant open the eggs? So far on this poll, we've got 41% say open the egg, as 58% say keep the eggs. Which, as I said, this is his story. And Kabam have confirmed, obviously, in this one to say Brian's eggs will not be automatically opened after the event. The decision to open them will always rest with him, which is nice. But it's like it is his story to tell. It's like if he wants to aren't my thing. Relevant point here. A bit of mixed response. It is interesting how people have been claiming that the rewards from the Realm event aren't good the whole last month, but suddenly when someone else can do all the work for them, the rewards are now the cream of the crop, and it's a no-brainer or no-brainer decision to get them. As much as I'd like the egg profile picture, the cost is too steep to the price to ask for. It's not steep. It's not. I don't say it's steep. It's just a case of. It's Brian's story to tell, and if he wants to do it, he can do it. If he doesn't want to do it, then I don't think anybody really matters or cares too much about not getting the primordial dust, 1,000 7-star shards, and the stuff that might be beneficial to a new player or newish player, but for the stuff that's and the exalted crystal. By the way, the exalted crystal, what that does for new players, fantastic. Like it could be a fresh 7-star to someone who's just started the game, or it could be a 6-star for a new person that started the game. You could get lucky, and if Brian does do this, excuse me, got hiccups. And you get something like a 7-star, 6-star, you thank him, and you're a new player, you thank him. But if you're like an endgame player and you get a 7-star as well, you just thank him. Of course, getting a 6-star as a Valiant isn't exactly kind of like the cream of the crop, is it? Anyway, yeah, it's down to his. It's down to him with it. Yeah, like the rarity of these crystals is going to be something relatively low, but it is down to his cadence, his story that he wants to tell. And it's completely up to him. I mean, what are your thoughts on it? I'll put it down to you guys talk in the comments. Do you think that he should just open them, or do you think he should continue the story? My poetic kind of understanding of it, of how I feel that the story should play out, is Brian should keep these eggs until the game dies. Like the last day the game is in operation, the server's about to be turned off, is the day that he opens up those eggs. And I think that's a poetic end to all of this. Or twist, and this is the thing where like a spicy twist is, he doesn't open them, right? And the game dies and it finishes. I think that may be the better twisting poetic end, but whatever ending it is, it's up to Brian at the end of the day. And I don't think anybody really cares too much, like if he keeps them or doesn't. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. What we're going to do is end the show on, the new update. The new update goes live later on today. I am really excited to get my hands on Medusa and Purgatory. The new buffs are going to be incredible. Cannot wait to play them. More so Medusa, because I like what she's got in her kit. That's like when that goes live, I'm going to be making a video on Medusa. She is one of the champions that I loved as a 6-star, and then unfortunately fell out of favour with, because of course we had the big rise of really ass-kicking cosmics, like your Hercules and other ones. But she's always been a champion I've used from time to time in different scenarios and really enjoyed her. Purgatory, I think we could say the same for questing. Excited to do that. Use a champion in a few quests. See how she fares, and yeah, like the Medusa buff is going to be incredible. The update should go live today, the 7th of October, and there's going to be some extra fixes and improvements. I really, in some ways, wish Kabam didn't do these kind of funny things on the bug fixes and improvements, because I just need to kind of like 100% know what's going on. Like, fix the Doppler shift buff, known as it properly listens to all knockdowns rather than just heavy attacks. And of course, that's meant to be a sound-based joke. That's what I'm talking about. Spread the word far and wide. The quest nodes that Vision Deathless is in fact very villainous. Maybe you didn't have the villain tag. Again, there's little jokes with this. It's funny, yes, it's funny, but I'd like to just kind of like, you know, just definitely know that there's stuff. Fix an issue with second hit of Mordo's special 2 whiffing when used as intercept, because it does that. There's lots of little kind of improvements here. Fix an issue with Beta Ray Bill pausing buffs from synergies. Okay, that's not a jokey one, and that's an actual thing. So that's good. Increase the distance at which Gladiator can trigger bursts of damage while in Ultra Confidence to improve gameplay consistency. Didn't know that was a problem. Good to know that if there was... I've been using him a bit in Alliance Raids. Haven't enjoyed him in Alliance Raids. I actually would prefer using... Because I'm Tactician. I should have used Angela. But, yeah. Well, you pick these things to experiment around with them. There's nothing against it. It's just I'm not rotating... Well, I'd say I am rotating well to get what I need to get from it. It's just the way the champions function on the nodes versus damage potential suits me personally better to use Angela versus using Gladiator. But again, personal preference, and you learn these things. It's all about a tester for the first time, isn't it? Fix an issue with Guillotine not gaining as much health as intended when the opponent is taking damage from any sources. Nice. Fixed a major issue with how the game was processing removals due to purify and cleanse effects, which will fix nearly a dozen different bugs with champions such as Dust, Bishop, Jubilee, and Zemo. There you go. I didn't know the Kabam were working on that. Fixed an issue where the only 7-star version of Silver Sable was missing part of her psychic shielding tag. Okay, I think we knew about that. And Medusa is now with the A-Force tag as well for those that maybe want to use it in content like a Karina's challenge or something. What happened to Karina's challenges? I think they've seemed to have gone by the wayside. Not the end of the world. There's a lot of stuff to do in game nowadays. Trying to find a time for everything is always very tricky. And yeah, so those are all the bug fixes. If there's some I've missed off, go and give them a read. Or link it in the description to all of this. And that has been the show for today. Check out some other content located on screen right now. It's going to be a very busy week, y'all. So keep locked to the channel for more info, more discussion, more observation, guides, and side quest nonsense and all that stuff. Thanks for watching the show. See you soon. Bye.